In the rolling hills of the Cheviots in Northumberland, we did it. We found uranium never before seen. And that got us curious. Months of research revealed more, that there's more to find in this mighty Pluton. Like a radioactive Indiana Jones, in research long forgotten, Dr. H W Haslam revealed the secret location of 3 places where the glow lies. 3 grid references, 3 quests, long treks, marshy bogs, soaring peaks, and waterfalls that sparkle like hidden stars. The 3 U's challenge, our biggest challenge yet. Hello and welcome to our latest video. This is part of the 3 U's series, and today we're in Linhope, which is at the south of the Cheviot Pluton. So this is a really exciting one because there's all sorts of bonus elements to this video, hopefully anyway. So not only are we looking for uranium, but there's 1 or 2 hidden secrets amongst our little trip today. So it's a bit windy, it's a bit cold and a bit damp, but the sun's due to come out, so we'll see how that works. So I'm now parked at Hartside Farm, which is about a mile or so away from Linhope and Linhope Spout, which already gives you a clue to what we're hoping to find today. The background is about 0.11, so that's not too bad, but we're not in the Pluton at the moment, so we'll have to sort of see. So I hope you enjoy this little adventure. So why are we here? Well, in the 1970s, research was published by a gentleman who was working on behalf of the UK Atomic Energy Agency, and their remit was to find uranium, simple as that. Why then? Well, since the late 1950s, they were looking for uranium in the UK because from the 50s onwards, not only were we building bombs, but also this was the time of civil nuclear energy production. So we were looking for, we were looking to build power plants, and it was the future. You know, the future is now in the 70s. And on the back of that, research was published showing basically where there was and wasn't uranium. So this dude captured about 300, 400 stream sediments in the area, and not only did he show how much uranium there was, but other metals, thorium, copper, zinc, lead, rare earths, you name it. That's all very interesting, but why are we here? Well, in his research he mentioned that there's 3 areas in the Cheviot Pluton where uranium mineralization was known to be. And that forms the basis of these videos, the 3 U's. So the first one is in Linhope, and Linhope is not only a beautiful part of the world, famous for, I won't give it away, but also there happens to be other things in the area which very well may be interesting to us on the back of this research. So when I was researching this location, all I had to go was a grid reference, and the grid reference was 100 by 100 meters, which doesn't sound a lot, but when you're dealing with valleys and hills and all sorts of things, 100 square meters is quite a large area to explore. So I looked at the geological maps and then sort of tried to sort of work out where there could possibly be mineralization, and very luckily we found that there was a porphyritic dike, which is easy for you to say, in the same grid reference. And the porphyritic dike is is basically a special type of magma granite intrusion, which is a bit of a smoking gun for us. But you know what we like on this channel? We like a sense of adventure. Behind me is where this grid reference is, and as you can see, that 100 square meters looks very, very treacherous. So this is going to be a fun one, this. So, but what you can also see in the distance is that it's likely sort of the rocks are a little bit different, and that's a good sign of a dike. So basically we're a dike. All you're looking for is just different. Looking for a chunk of rock that's different colour, different type, different makeup. Now porphyrifics tend to be quite quartzy, quite breccia-y. So we're used to that on the channel, aren't we? So let's go and I may go the safe way down. Certainly that long path there looks better than that ditch there. So see how it goes. So this tree, high tree, marks the bottom left hand corner of this grid reference. So that's all very well and good, but this is what's in front of us. And as you can see, there's a massive hill, there's a fenced off river, there is not a lot of good geography. So what I'm hoping is if I can get at the river, and there's a path just over there, so I can try and do that. That it's at the river where we see this sort of stuff. We walked down the path and caught our first glimpse of Linhope Burn. The faulting also brought us hope.
So I'm just at the bottom where we were before, and straight away I think I might have found the dike, purely because that's going in one direction, you see the veining, and then this is going in another direction. So that's classic, these sort of fractures, whatever you want to call them, that's classic. The other thing is that you'll notice that the rocks have like a pinky touch to them, pinky hue, and that is because this is a special type of granite. So this is called the Dunmore granodiorite, and that's named after the big hill which we sort of looked at before. So just come a little bit further up, and I think we found what we come looking for. So let's see if this is working. So we have 21, 22. Good. That's like a double background round here. Let's see what else we can sort of find. So we are at 24. 24. 25. Right, let's see if we can turn the light red. So 26. 6. You can definitely see the rocks are a different type of colour here. They're quite white. So we have 27. Let's see what else we can do. 28. 28. Onwards. 29. 28. 29. 29. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a little wander around and just see how high we can get this. Lovely to see that red light come on though. Oh, how exciting. I was dreading going up them massive hills. Honestly, I was dreading going up there. Champion.
And here I am, surveying the edge of Linhope Burn, the very spot Dr. H W Haslam studied in 1975. 50-odd years after he published his geochemical survey of the Cheviot area, a lone hunter is chasing the same glow he flagged back then. Haslam's work was simple yet profound. He collected 300 stream sediment samples and noted a few small uranium concentrations in the grid here. If Dr. Haslam could see me today, he'd probably smile at the irony. A modern-day glow hunter following the fingerprints he left in his own papers, proving that the hunt for uranium is much a story of people as it is of rock. Will the counter click again? That's the question we're here to answer.
So I've got a few bits and pieces out, and this is what I've found. But what I will do is I will clear up the area as best I can to see if we can actually see any mineralisation. But this is the first area here. So 53, 54, and the alarm did go off, but you can't hear it because of this. So don't worry about it. That seems quite hot. And then down here, there's a sort of, I don't know if you can see it, that's 54 as well, 53, 54. And it is quite, there's a little bit of a trough here. So if I just remove the Geiger counter, you can sort of see there's quite an indentation of trough. I'm not sure what it is. There's some great colours here. So yeah, we'll have a little clean up. And we'll just see if we can see anything minerals wise. So this is the sort of consistently highest spot, and I've removed the moss and everything, and you just cannot see anything. There's nothing sticking out to say, you know, I am a radioactive mineral. There's just these tiny sort of black lines, which may or may not be something, but I'm not going to obsess over it. You know, that has been getting to 0.7 in a couple of just around here. So I did clean up this area here, and again, can't really sort of see anything. But rather than get obsessed about this one spot, I am going to look around here and to the sort of, obviously there's some rocks there sticking out, and I'm going to go on the other side because that's what we're here for. You never know. So I did take one final look at I'm not quite sure what my directions are. The other side, the first side. And I found one more hot spot here. So here, just in this corner here, I was getting up to about 50. Let's see if I can do the same thing for you guys. See how we do. Yeah, it's not playing ball. But yeah, it was getting up to about 50 or so. So there's obviously another side here. So over there, past the boot, is where we had our first lot. And so this is accompanying it as well. But again, I can't really see anything. There's nothing obvious. No like weird colours or anything like that. So it all seems pretty okay really. It's quite overgrown with moss and stuff. But again, you can just tell with the rocks, they're definitely a little bit more altered than the boring pink and the boring grey. So yeah, so I was just wrapping up and it's come to 50. Told you so. The uranium hunter does not lie. And it's from that bit here. But can't see anything. So, you know, it's in there somewhere. So that's where we were, over there. And I've just gone all the way up and down. And it seems to be just this area that's got elevated readings. So just like half a metre away, we're getting sort of 30s. But there's nowhere near as high as that. So the sort of 0.7 I was getting is probably the highest I've got. So if this is the dike that we've been looking for, this is where it leads to. So the river goes down there, but this is the sort of general direction the dike goes to. So there is absolutely nothing stopping me from going to the other side. However, there's something very, very special to see. Never mind the rock hounding. I've got a real treat for you. Hello. Can I help you? Oh, beautiful, you. Yes. Are you looking for uranium as well, are you? I don't blame you. If you look after Mother Nature will look after you. Yes, my friend? My beautiful, beautiful friend? Right, you enjoy your cookie? I've not had one yet. Is it?
We're at Linhope Burn, the ribbon that feeds the hidden glow in the Cheviot Hills. The water cuts through the granite and quartz, a subtle dance of erosion and mineralisation. But stay with me, the next few minutes will take us to the very heart of this valley.
Ladies and gentlemen, Linhope Spout.
Here the river plunges over a sheer limestone cliff, turning the spray into a silver veil. The water rushes past a band of bright pink granite that intrudes the older, darker lavas below. It's the exact contrast that marks where the ancient magma fed into the crust, a story written in stone. The flow of the stream is a living ribbon of that history, carving a path through the granite's veins and showing how the Earth's forces shape beauty. As the mist rises, the sheer height of the fall reminds us that even the most dramatic landscape is a tapestry of countless geological chapters, each layer a whisper from the deep past. We followed the clues and the grid was true. No hills to climb, yet the U appeared. Its glow may be subtle, but the sight was grand, a waterfall's wonder, waiting on this land.
So as cool as it was to have lunch next to a waterfall, there may be other things for us to find there. And it's a bit peoply for me, this. I keep seeing people, not interested. Let's go and see what more surprises we can find. So I'm just walking to the next target. You can already see that the rocks are changing and it's their sort of appearance. It's sort of felsic fine crystals, which is one of the dikes. And the readings jumped up from sort of 0.8 at the top of the waterfall to this. So that suggests to me we're close to a dike. It's good stuff. This is something very different. I have no idea what this is. But, I mean, is it tourmalisation? Is it olivine? It's very out of place. Sadly, it's not radioactive, but you know, not everything is spicy. However, it's very, very pretty. So there was this gorgeous little stream that had a potential, but there's nothing doing with the Geiger count. But isn't it pretty? So, isn't it lovely? And the sun's come out, so we don't mind. So this is just off Linhope Burn. Just a tiny little tributary that might have had something. Plus, I can go no further anyway, because there's a massive fence. And when the signs are, don't go, I don't go, okay? Simple as that. So there's another one to the right, that way, that may also have something. But we're not doing anything here. And in fact, the readings are sort of, you know, it's not even as good as just walking the path. So we try again.
Linhope Burn slices through the Cheviot Hills, but its secrets lie far below the water's surface. In the 1970s, a geochemical survey of the stream sediments caught a tiny, unmistakable grain of monazite, a phosphate that bundles thorium, and a handful of rare earth gems. That lone grain tells us the catchment is a pantry of thorium-bearing rocks. Thorium is a stubborn guest. It won't leach into the stream. It only shows up as a heavy mineral residue that settles on the bed, giving Linhope Burn a cocktail of thorium, zirconium, titanium and other accessory elements. an unmistakable chemical fingerprint that points straight back to the granite source. Our on-ground sweep, however, revealed only faint, low-level radioactivity. The mineralization is a trickle, and any richer veins lie miles upstream, hidden behind rugged terrain that demands a full-length hike. We'll need to sear up the stubborn thorium, while the more mobile uranium is already doing its thing. So the Cheviot granites keep their secrets close, but we're not giving up. The 3 U's challenge stays in the spotlight. It's not the 3 Thurs. One day, one trail, another hunt.
So one thing that is interesting, and whilst it's not specifically about uranium, it does help us to go and find these things, is how different the rocks are here than they are at Horse and Burn. So if anybody's watched my first video, Horse and Burn had loads of quartz, like every other rock had lines of quartz, breccia, all sorts of really cool things. And yet I've seen one rock with quartz in it, which I showed you, and that's it. And I have walked and walked and walked and walked, and I have looked at all sorts of things. And all you're finding is this andesite, this grey stuff, which is the sort of the old rock, the lava. And then the pinky rock, which is the granite, which is the sort of magma that came up and pushed this away. And that is it. This is the only 2 types of rock that I've really found. Even when I went down to the river and found the mineralization, the sort of uranium, it was all still pink, grey. Now, we had the same sort of thing at Horse and Burn, if you remember, because we saw the big sort of landslides, and they were full of these sort of either pinky rock coming out of the grey rock and stuff. And it was great. But it's really fascinating to see that although we're in the same place, it's the same rocks, it's the same age, and it's basically the same thing. We've got a fast flowing river just like we did at Horse and Burn. It's just funny how the processes that have transformed the rocks 400 million years ago-ish were different. But that's a boring topic for another time. So speaking of boring, go away. Boring.
Geology lesson over, the picture is clear. The uranium-laden dike stretches across the burn to the other side of the river. Time to step back across the stream, get up close, and reveal our secret weapon for the hunt.
So, I unleashed my secret weapon to get across the stream. I used wellies! Woohoo! And behind me is where that vein was, where we got the good readings. And according to the geology, it follows this stream behind me. So, let's give it a whirl. So if I turn the camera around, you can see the other side, and you can definitely see the lines and stuff. The only trouble is that the actual dike is facing me, so it's coming in this direction. So, you've got the fault of the crust there. But anyway, doesn't really matter, we're just having fun. Also, you can just tell the rocks are just starting to be slightly different. There's a bit of brecciation on that. So, let's see if we can get anything to tick. Okay. So, I'm inside a little spooky cave bit in the stream that feeds the main stream. And we've got some of that felsic stuff there. But we're getting nothing really sort of thing. I mean, it looks good. See if I can get that in focus. Would you like to focus? No? Yes? So it looks good. It looks interesting. There's obviously lots of faults and cracks and things. But I'm not sure if I'm going to find anything. Although, having said that, it's up to 1920. All right, you never know. I'm going to have a look around anyway while I'm in the drink. The things we do. So the highest I've managed to get it to is about 22. I got 24 somewhere. So it's a tiny little bit high compared to background, but not a lot. So I think we'll just have to sort of, I'm going to try the other side, but I'm going to say that this is just the end of that dike. So as you can see, the rock is slightly more brecciated here, slightly more altered. Yeah, you can see those white sort of crystals. So this is definitely the dike, but the mineralization seems to have ended over there, which is a bit of a shame, because whilst it's a little bit higher, which you'd expect, it's not like going to tell us anything that we don't know really. So I'm going to have a little mooch around, but I suspect that the mineralization finished on the other side of the raging torrent.
Part 1 closes with a triumph. We found the uranium exactly where Dr. Haslam's 1975 paper predicted. That success tells us the next two sites aren't just a forgotten line on a map, they're real places that could hold the glow we're hunting for. And we were blessed with one of Northumberland's most stunning sites, Linhope Spout, a waterfall that feels like a gift from the earth itself. The hunt isn't over, we're already itching to chase the glow to the other two locations, and the promise of thorium at Linhope will see us back here one day. A huge thank you to Dr. Haslam for charting the way, and a special thank you to our friendly goldfinch. Part 2 starts where we left off. From the same farmway, we'll walk 5 miles through the Breamish Valley on foot, tracing the ancient Roman route of Salters Road. We'll skirt non-open access land, dodge keep out signs, and on the way discover secret waterfalls and hidden mineralization that no map shows. The next adventure is ready. Are you?